Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today I'm going to be doing my mid-month wrap-up for January 2019. So let's dive in. These are in order of least to most enjoyed. I will talk to you about them as we go. Let's begin. So, I buddy read with Amanda Center Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This is... I will link Amanda's channel in the cards. How do I feel about this? So, I've tried to read this 4 times before now, and I finally was able to finish it with the help of having a buddy reader, and I still only gave it 3 stars. It was solid. It was fine. I'm glad I read it. It needed to be read. The conversations that a lot of people have about being Heathcliff and Catherine and all that sort of stuff are very important, and I find it really relevant that I now know that. I am not a fan of Heathcliff or Cathy. I think they're both children and spiteful and vengeful and completely terrorizing. But I understand the appeal. They're very angsty and emotional and raw. I'm not going to go into the plot of Wuthering Heights. It's a complicated plot, for one, and 2, everyone knows Wuthering Heights. I feel like I'm the last person on the planet to read it. If you don't know what Wuthering Heights is about, okay, so Heathcliff loves Cathy. Cathy marries someone else. Heathcliff gets bitchy, and then the story goes from there. There you go. That's the general premise. So, there's that. Then we have Emily Northam, Strike Your Heart. I asked on Instagram what my followers would like to see me read next, and this is what won. I enjoyed this to a point. I like Emily Northam better when she writes darker. Not like this wasn't dark. It had dark elements, but I like darker fiction from Emily Northam. Sulfate Acid was my favorite, and it's remained my favorite. This one was fine. It's a story of a young girl who is born into a family where her mother really envies and what's the word? Resents her, and so her relationship with women just becomes more and more complicated as she ages because she just doesn't know how to interact with women, and it just becomes more and more complex and interesting to follow. It was a good book. It was solid. I enjoyed it. I didn't love it. Then we have Foe by Ian Reid. This is the story of a man who gets a stranger at his door who says, "We've decided that you are the person who's going to go on a trip, and we're going to send somebody in your place to stay with your wife, and everything's going to be fine, but we have to come back and check on you every 6 months to make sure that you really are the person we want to do this." So every 6 months or so, this stranger comes back and checks in and asks random questions, and it's really creepy, really odd, very much of an Ian Reid book. I still liked, I'm thinking of ending things better. I definitely really preferred that to this, but I still enjoyed this and will read it again in the future. It just wasn't exactly what I wanted. This one would have been my favorite book of the month so far, but unfortunately I didn't love the ending. This is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This is really fabulous. I really loved it, and I think that most people would really enjoy the ending. I wanted something darker to happen, and it didn't go that route. So this is a story of a couple of friends who go to a house together, one of their friends' houses, and have a sleepover, and they take LSD. And then one of the girls ends up getting lost in the wood that night, and she begins to change drastically in appearance, smell, function, emotions, and behavior. And her best friend is trying to solve the problem of what happened. It's interesting. I would say it has trigger warnings conversational wise for sexual assault, but it's not really that. So it's not huge trigger warnings. It's just if you don't like the topic of sexual assault being brought up, there is a trigger warning. But it's not relevant-ish to the story. It's a momentary thing. So yeah, this is really good. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. I picked it up on the recommendation of Amanda Center and April from Getting Hooked with It. I'll link April's channel up in the cards. I definitely would recommend this, and I really enjoyed it. I'm super happy to have it on my shelves. And then there is my favorite book of the month. This is The Deeper the Water, The Uglier the Fish by Katia Epkena. This is a story about two sisters who are separated from their mother and sent to live with their estranged father. And they're trying to stay together and get along. They're really struggling with their father because he's nice to them after ignoring them for so many years. And the mother is falling apart, and the oldest sister, I believe, feels that she should be with her mother and helping her get through this troubling time rather than away from her mother. But they're really feeling that her mother needs to be at a mental health facility. So, and it opens with her revealing that she walked in on her mother attempting suicide, and her younger sister wasn't able to stop her because her younger sister has such a connection to her mother that she emotionally responds to everything her mother does to a point where she goes catatonic. And so in the moment when her mother tried to kill herself, she went catatonic. So the girls are taken away from their mother and they're sent to live with their father. It was really, really good. I really loved it. I knew it was going to be a 5-star book when I started it, which is why I put it off until this year instead of finishing it in December, even though I got it in December. I knew it was going to be really good, and I was really excited about it. So I put it aside, and I'm glad I did. We shall see if it holds up as a favorite book of the year. Right now, it might be, but this is so early on. I don't even know, but I really loved this book. It was super good. This was sent to me by $2 Radio along with a couple other books, and I'm very grateful. Very grateful. So those are the books that I've read so far in the year. So in January 2019, beginning of the month. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, click that subscribe button down below. If you have any questions, comments, or quandaries, go ahead and leave them in the comment box. Love my Patreons. Always excited to have more. I will link my Patreon page in the description. If you want to show me some love, I would adore it. I will talk to you in my next video, and I'll see you then. Bye.